In the quiet American town of Willow's Edge, everyone knew Agatha Crow, the old midwife with the crooked spine and the soft, comforting voice. She had delivered almost every baby in town for the last 40 years. Mothers claimed she gifted newborns the blessing, a ritual that protected them from sickness and evil. No one really understood the ritual. No one questioned it. No one remembered to. Because whenever Agatha blessed a child, something impossible happened. Every memory of that baby vanished from the entire town. The parents forgot they ever gave birth. Neighbors forgot there was ever a pregnancy. The world simply rearranged itself as if the baby had never existed. But at night, behind her shuttered windows, people heard a strange, heavy rhythm. A slow pounding. A sound that made dogs howl and lights flicker. A sound no one dared investigate. That changed the night Jacob Miller, a 17-year-old, saw something he wasn't meant to see. It started when he found an empty cradle in his neighbor's trash. A cradle that wasn't there the day before. A cradle his brain told him he had never seen. Yet something deep inside insisted he had. That uneasiness grew into suspicion. Suspicion grew into fear. And fear pushed Jacob toward the woods, where Agatha Crow's isolated cottage sat crooked beneath a dying oak tree. He didn't mean to spy, not at first, but when he heard the pounding, louder, angrier, urgent, his curiosity dragged him closer. Jacob crept to the window. Inside, Agatha stood over a massive wooden mortar carved with old symbols. Her hands moved in a slow ritualistic motion. Something small and wrapped in a blanket rested inside the bowl. She wasn't hitting it violently, just a steady, ritualistic thump, 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 each strike making the candle flames flicker like they were terrified. The baby wasn't crying. It wasn't moving. And Agatha, her voice trembling with hunger and devotion, whispered, "Sleep, little one. Your silence feeds the blessing." Jacob choked on his own breath. Agatha's head snapped toward the window. Her eyes weren't human anymore. They were bottomless pits, reflecting the candlelight like the surface of cold water. Before he could run, the door flew open. Agatha moved faster than her age should allow, her hand seizing Jacob's wrist with bone-crushing force. "You saw," she whispered. "So you must be forgotten." Jacob screamed as she dragged him inside, the door slamming shut behind them. By morning, Jacob Miller no longer existed. His parents woke up cheerful, making breakfast like they had never had a son. His room was empty, his clothes gone, his name erased from photographs, yearbooks, school records. The town walked around with a normal morning smile. 2 months later, Emily Hart, a quiet college student home for the summer, returned to Willow's Edge for a funeral. Her cousin, who should have been 17, was listed in the obituary as having never existed. Emily knew Jacob. She remembered him vividly. His laugh, his drawings, the way he used to sit by the creek and skip stones. But no one else did, not even his parents. That was the first crack in Agatha's spell. Emily felt watched in the days that followed. Shadows lingered behind her. Doors creaked open in the middle of the night. The old willow tree near her window bent toward her house unnaturally. One night, Emily woke up gasping. Thump, thump, thump. The sound came from the woods. But this time, she didn't run. She grabbed a flashlight and followed it. Heart pounding, breath sharp, every instinct screaming to turn back. At the edge of the woods, she saw Agatha's cottage. The lights flickered like dying stars. Inside the window stood silhouettes, one tall and thin, one smaller, trembling. Emily pushed closer. The smaller figure turned, and it was Jacob, pale, blank-eyed, as if suspended between memory and oblivion. He whispered, "Emily, she knows you remember." Agatha emerged behind him with a smile that looked stitched into her face. "You're stronger than most," she hissed. "But it doesn't matter. Memory is a soft thing, easy to carve out." Emily tried to run, but the woods twisted around her, paths changing, branches grabbing at her arms. Agatha moved impossibly fast, like her feet never touched the ground. "As long as babies are born," Agatha said calmly, "I will continue. I will feed. I will erase." Jacob reached toward Emily, begging her silently to leave. But Agatha slid her fingers across his forehead, and he went still, his last flicker of self fading like breath on glass. Emily screamed, and then everything went black. The next morning, Willow's Edge woke up unchanged. No one remembered Emily Hart. No one remembered Jacob Miller. No one remembered anything missing. Agatha Crow walked through town with a warm smile, carrying a basket of herbs and blankets, greeting neighbors like an old friend. A newborn had arrived overnight. The parents beamed with pride. Agatha reached out gently. "Let me bless your child." And as she carried the baby toward her cottage, the town carried on with their day, laughing, working, living, unaware of the slow, rhythmic pounding beginning again in the woods. Thump, 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 because Agatha never stops. She only waits and feeds and erases.